Hey YouTube, Hellert here with some breaking news from New York State Department of Financial Services, which regulates insurance in the state of New York. So, supplemental spousal liability is no longer going to be mandatory for insureds on automobile policies who are unmarried, or at least who do not list a spouse on the application. The essence of supplemental spousal liability is if we get into an accident, let's say I'm married, and my wife is culpable in the accident, it's her negligence that causes my injury, well, then I can basically sue her, and then the insurance carrier has to pay for it. So instead of being covered for no-fault benefits, which are set mandatory minimum of $50,000, maximum is usually $150, $175, instead it can be the policy limits. So if I had a $300,000 insurance, well, then I could get paid up to that amount, potentially, depending on how the actual finding of facts went. For a while, that was a optional coverage. You didn't have to purchase it. No one had to purchase it. In fact, you had to opt in. You would sign a little form that says, hey, I want this coverage. You pay for it. It gets attached onto your policy in an endorsement. That's what we call the attachments that change the policy up from what is on the base form. The base form is whatever is mandated to be in there. About a year ago, New York State, in its infinite wisdom, decided that everyone should just have this, and you had to opt out. Even if you were not married at all. Even if you were the only driver on the policy. Now that has changed after lobbying by independent agents and companies everywhere that this is useless to most people. So now the law has changed where it is now optional for those who are unmarried again, and those who are married, however, that will be an opt-out where you will be notified and you can opt out. For those who have a spouse listed on the application, the insurer will have to send them a notification every year in renewal. It will be a form in bold-faced type stating what SSL is, supplemental spousal liability. That's SSL for short. So it'll say what SSL is and how much it would cost to put it on there, and they get to opt in, basically. So if someone didn't have it and later they needed it. So they'll always give them the option and not just say, well, you opted out before, so we're not going to notify you. So that is what will be the change there. One other part of this is they will now be required on the declination form to say what the premium charged is. There's been some issues with this where carriers were saying, oh, it's just included, the SSL, and there is no charge, but actually there was. Or they would list no charge on the declination, but there actually was one. And if you went into the carrier system, you would find, oh, no, there actually is a premium decrease if you take this away. Usually, it could be anywhere from, $5 to $50. But that is partially the reason why this change needed to happen, because people are being charged, again, between zero, but really more than zero, because a carrier passes on the costs somewhere, up to, I saw one client who had to pay $80 a year for SSL, and he was a single man. He didn't need it, obviously. So this change is going to make it a lot better for people. There is more information on the DFS site. Anyway, I'll be making more videos just answering common insurance questions, but I figured when they come up with some breaking news, I'd want to bring it to you first. So thanks. Comment below if you have any questions.